Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and today is a super exciting hop. We are celebrating Janet Fritz's 1,000 subby benchmark, which is so exciting. So there's a hop going on today. We're all scraplifting a layout of Janet. She is Galaxy Girl Creations here on YouTube, and she will be linked below along with everyone else. So I chose a super fun layout she did. I think that's her daughter. I cracked up when I first saw this layout. It is just so funny. I can completely relate to the story, but I just love the layout of it. So that's why I decided to start with. I had to move a couple things around because I'm at the end of my products for this month, so I only had so much to use, and I had two photos instead of one, so I did tweak it a little bit. But I love the idea of her having this big 12 by 12 and then this large layered bit being the predominant layer there on the top, like 2/3 of the page. And then she had her photo kind of on the edge of that down towards the bottom, and things kind of branched out from there. I just thought it was super cute, so I'm going to try and replicate that. Hers had more of like a vertical design with her layers because she did her journaling vertically over her single photo. I thought about using my photos one on top of the other like that so it looked more vertical. But in the end, I decided just to do them side by side, and that's what I ended up kind of moving as well. But I'm just trying to get the background layers done. It's really just these two layers as the main design portion, and then she does some fun embellishment and layers. So I'm just using this really fun stripe paper. I love this paper from One Canoe too, but I always seem to have a hard time using it. I don't know why, because it's super cute. But I decided to use this stripe paper as the 12 by 12, and then this kind of softer light pink for the large layer. That way I could kind of pile a lot of things on it and it wouldn't look super busy. I think that's the problem I had with this stripe paper the last time I used it. Is I tried to use it as a main layer, and then things got really busy going over the stripes. So having the softer pink be the larger layer, I think kind of helps your eye tell everything apart. But I'm just going through my scraps here. I have this yellow scrap. I'm going to matte the photo in. I already matted it in white. And then you can just see to the left there a bunch of the scraps I have that are in this color scheme. I pulled out anything that's basically a color in the striped paper. So yellow, pink, maroon, and the foiling. I pulled out anything that kind of had that color scheme already. But because it's scraps, I'm trying to figure out how I can do a couple layers because there's not a whole lot left. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat. Okay, I'm back. I feel better. So yeah, I'm just going in with this butterfly paper, and basically any of those layers on the left there, I'm trying to figure out how I can do layers with. Like I said, I'm really at the end of these products, so especially when I'm restricting myself to using these colors, because I do have some larger sheets of things with like green and stuff in them, but I'm trying to not use green in this page just because I really liked how it was very pink with pops of yellow. And I really didn't want to introduce green, but I did have this nice maroon page that was in the 6x8s, so I pulled that in to be a larger layer. I really wanted to pull in the darker maroon. It was looking very airy. This light pink was kind of blending into the stripe, which I didn't mind so much, but I didn't want everything to kind of run together. So pulling in this darker maroon gives your eye like a grounding point and something darker to pull your eye so it's not all just floating away in pastels. So I have this maroon that's going to be a layer that's going around both photos, and that kind of helps ground it and draws your eye to these photos and helps these photos kind of stand apart from these other papers, which is nice. And then I'm definitely going to try and pull in this butterfly paper to the left here too. Janet kind of had a decorative edge. I don't know if it was ribbon or a sticker or what running along the bottom of her page. So I wanted to kind of nod to that, but kind of scooch it up to the vertical that's running behind my photo. So I'm doing my little washi trick here to cut a large chunky scallop from this butterfly paper. I'm just going to fussy cut that really quick. And I decided to have this scallop run behind this light pink paper along the bottom of it to kind of make my photo clusters branch out horizontally. I was really feeling like this pink paper was really blending into the background. I just wanted something to distinguish that layer. So I'm just going to tuck the scallop up under the edge so you can kind of see where it ends more clearly. So that's what I decided to do there. And again, just pulling in more pinks and yellows. That color was already in the color scheme, so I'm glad I got some of that introduced. I'm just going to get this scallop glued down. I definitely want to get some more die cuts on this page and some stickers because, like I said 1,000 times, we're getting to the end of these products and I don't want a whole bunch of the stickers and stuff left over if I'm out of the paper products. So I'm trying to make sure I use as much as I can as I go. But I like that this kind of pulls it out horizontally. I'm going to go ahead and glue down these photos because I know that that's the layers, that's going to stay like that. I'm going to add a couple, tuck a couple things in just because, I don't know, the way it was laying sat a little awkward, and anything I can add and tuck in, more layers are more when it comes to layering. Like the more you cram in there, the better. So it just looks kind of empty with having that maroon back there. So you'll see what I mean when I kind of tuck more things in. But I'm just going through my paper scraps over here. I have these fun little polka dot that pulls in the foiling from the background, so I thought it might be nice to pull that in as a layer. But I kind of had this awkward size chunk, so I decided just to go around two sides of these layers just to kind of make it interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that to the edge, and then I'll have a little bit of that left over too, which you'll see me pull in later. But I just wanted a little bit of that polka dot foiling showing around the edge just to pull the foiling from the background into the forefront of these layers a little bit more. So I like how that looks. And then I definitely want to pull in the butterfly paper some more because you just see a little bit of it in that scallop, and I wanted it more prominently shown throughout the other layers. But I went through I have this stash of ribbon. I use it quite often, but it still looks really full. But Jennifer sent me this whole little collection of a bunch of different ribbons, and I kind of pulled them in when I can. And there was a couple pink ones in there, so I decided to use that in this page as well, just to give it a little bit of texture. And I'm already kind of throwing in all these different pinks, and there's already kind of a metallic shimmer, so I thought this little pink ribbon with some gold accents was perfect. I just wanted to accentuate that horizontal line with the scallop, and I think this ribbon is so cute. It adds such a fun texture, so I'm really glad I got some of that used up. You can still see that container's super full. I try to pull from that whenever I can, but it just keeps on going, that container. But yeah, I think that ribbon looks super nice. I'm going to keep a scrap of it out in case I want to pull it out anywhere else in this layout. But I love how that looks. But it's still looking very plain. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do what Janet did and kind of create a vertical column of journaling, or if I just want to go off on my own and do some layering. There's not a whole lot I have to say about this, so I was worried if I went the journaling route, I wouldn't really have enough to fill in how much I wanted to say to make it look more like Janet's. So I kind of decided I would just keep layering and figure that out later. But because I wanted more of this butterfly paper, I'm going to go ahead and tuck some of that in the top and bottom of these layers just so that's pulled in. And I think that helps balance this scallop a little more because that pattern is now somewhere else as well. So I really like how that's introduced too. And then I want some more maroon too, because I just had that little bit of maroon showing around the photos and I want more of that shown. And I thought it kind of looked cool just peeking on the edge here. So I'm just going to cut a strip of that maroon paper to have peeking out of the side because I didn't have enough of that to go all the way around either. So I am going to glue that down. And then I think I'll end up gluing these layers down soon. I think that's pretty much all the paper layers I end up doing. You can see where I tucked in the little scraps of pink on the maroon. And I think that helps with the layering too. It helps pull in a little bit of that pink from the background, but not too much. So it's not like blending together. But I'm happy with those layers, so I'm going through my cut aparts, and then I'll go through my sticker sheet and kind of figure out what I want to use. This little oval piece that says replenish I think looks super cute, and these photos were when we went to Helen, Georgia before we could set up our campsite. We couldn't check in until 1 o'clock, so we hadn't eaten lunch yet, so we decided to sit and stop in town and eat lunch. So we stopped at the Troll Tavern, which I love. This is the first time I've been to the Troll Tavern. We usually eat across the river at the Cafe International. But we decided to eat here, and it was really nice because it was right on the river. So I have a couple photos from that. And so I thought replenish was appropriate because we were stopping to eat and kind of refuel after the drive before we had to go and set up our camp tent site. So I really liked that embellishment. And then there's this cute little tag that has the same striped pattern as the background. So I thought it would be really nice to try and get that used up too. So I have them sitting there to the right. And then there's a couple florals that are the same floral that's on the butterfly paper on the sticker sheet. So I pulled those in too, and I'm hoping I can get those on this page as well. But Janet had her title in the lower right hand corner, and then she had a little bit of embellishment in the upper right hand corner, so I kind of want to do a nod to that and continue with her design. I'm just going to call this lunch because I didn't have a whole lot of alphas to spell out anything big, but I figured if I'm going to do a little bit of journaling, that's all I really needed. So I'm using my nice little pink tile, like Scrabble inspired tile stickers, and I think that pink looks really nice down there. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue down my layers because I'm pretty happy with how those are looking too. But yeah, I play a lot with this this little cluster over to the right. I hem and haw if I like the replenish and the tag over there, so you can see it kind of off to the side again, but I do end up deciding to put it there. I thought anywhere where I could put some more ribbon in because I love the way the ribbon looks and I want it as another accent somewhere. I thought about tucking it in as a layer around the top of the photo somewhere, but decided it kind of looked weird there, so I didn't. And then I thought maybe if I added a doily around this right corner, it would kind of beef up that corner more into this embellishment cluster, but then it ended up just kind of looking awkward, so I removed the doily too. And I mess around with that doily a lot, but it does not end up making it on here. But again, I just put the tag and this replenish back because I do really like it there. I just couldn't decide if it looked kind of lonely being the only thing stuck up to the side. But I end up liking it. So I put the replenish piece up on some foam, so there's a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff glued down, I'm pretty sure. I'm just adding a little bit of white and gold twine to the tag, just because it adds a little bit of that metallic shimmer. So I think that looks cute. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down too. So I kind of have a semi-visual triangle started or mapped out at least. I have the floral in the upper right-hand corner. I have this replenished, and then I have this other floral in the bottom left of the photo. So I'm kind of thinking I'm going to build from there. But this lower right-hand corner was looking a little empty, so I had an extra scrap of that polka dot paper. So I decided just to tuck it in under there, just so I could have another little bit of that piece of paper showing. And then I forget what I do after this. I know I go through my stash. Oh yeah, I want to get this cluster up here done. So I wanted something for these florals to sit on, so I just grabbed another scrap of that polka dot and the maroon, and I'm cutting little bits to kind of come out of the side there to be an anchor point for that little floral bit. So that's all I'm doing now is getting that glued down and trimmed to size. But I think that's nice. It kind of pulls that maroon up there, so that's kind of balanced a little bit, and it kind of draws your eye to that section, so that area is not so floaty. But the maroon is very dominant, and it looks very extra dark up there. So I did decide to cut a piece of this pink ribbon to go over that piece. That way it pulls the ribbon up there too, which is nice because that's kind of the third spot you can see the ribbon, which kind of creates a visual triangle too, but it lightens up that maroon block a little bit so it's not so heavy. But I think that looks cute, and I ended up putting these florals on some foam as well, so they also have some dimension. But I ended up going through my stash, and I have these yellow labels that I thought might be nice. I was missing the yellow on this page. It's mostly all different kinds of pink, and I just wanted a little like extra pop of the yellow. So I have these yellow label stickers. I just decided I would pull into 3 separate places, just again to have that repetition of thirds and create another visual triangle. So I'm just putting those kind of in 3 spots that kind of triangulate the photos a little bit. This third spot was kind of awkward for me to figure out how to get it, but I was determined, and after I scooched the polka dot paper down a little bit, it ended up working out pretty nicely. But I like that little extra pop of yellow, and because there's also white on it, it kind of pulls the white in from the background too to lighten it up a little bit. But I think adding those labels helps a lot, and these labels have been in my stash for a really long time, so I'm always excited when I can use them because I just forget about them all the time. But yeah, I'm happy I got those used up too. So my floral's down. I'm trying again with this doily. It is not going to work. I don't know, like it would have been fine, I'm sure, but for some reason it was just looking awkward. So I took it back off. But then I did notice that this replenish piece had this kind of scenic background that wasn't really anywhere else on the page. So I found on the sticker sheet, there's this cute little stamp with that same scenic background. So I decided to pop that up on some foam and add that to the opposite corner of the photos, just so that embellishment is balanced as well. I'm planning on having my journaling come down in a vertical column in that area, so I kind of wanted a little bit of embellishment to draw your eye there, just so you notice the journaling. So I like that now. And I'm happy because I got both these floral stickers and that stamp sticker used up, which is really nice. And now I'm going through my hashtag sticker book. I expected to use the sticker book a lot more this month, but I was really trying to focus, I guess, specifically on the willow stickers that I bought, so I hadn't been. But now that I kind of am getting down on my sticker sheet too, I thought it was okay to kind of turn to my One Canoe to hashtag sticker book for embellishment. So I'm just pulling out some yellow and pink hearts that are in the color scheme as a little bit of embellishment. And then there's a couple word stickers I find that are also yellow and pink that I add as well. So I have my 2 little clusters of hearts, which I think is super cute and helps accent those little embellishments. I'm looking for more hearts here, but I end up finding the word stickers and go with that instead. I was kind of trying to decide how many clusters of hearts I wanted, but I'm pretty happy with just these 2. But I find this yellow one that says life is a collection of moments, which I think is perfect. And then there's a pink one I find that says loving this day. So I thought both of those were nice. I thought about staggering them up there by the stamp sticker just because it's going to be at the end of my journaling. But then I decided I'd rather those stickers be spread elsewhere where they would fill up the space better and make more sense. Because when they were stuck up there by the stamp, it kind of looked like they were just tacked on. It looked a little awkward. So yeah, I moved them around a little bit, but the yellow one ends up going next to the larger floral underneath the photos, and then I end up moving the pink one above my title, so it reads loving this day and then lunch. But those look, I'm happier after I move those. And then I think there's one more sticker I end up pulling off of the sticker sheet here in a minute too. I don't know when I do it. But I'm glad I got some of the hashtag sticker book used up too. But there's this little yellow heart. Yep, I just pulled it in from the sticker sheet because I wanted some more yellow down there. Since I have the yellow or the pink title and the pink word sticker, I needed some yellow, so that yellow heart was perfect. But I'm going in with my mustard pen, just drawing in some lines to do a little bit of journaling. I didn't need a lot of journaling, so I'm just I still wanted to have that nod to Janet's original where she had her journaling kind of vertically coming down in that area, so I'm just doing a little bit. But it just says campsite check-in, and it's not until 1, so we stopped at Troll Tavern for lunch. Kind of short and sweet, but then I think that's pretty much it. So I really love this page. I love the inspiration. It turned out like really different, but I loved her original and I really like what I ended up making with that inspiration. So you guys make sure you check out Janet's page. I'll link her below. Make sure you check out everyone else. We're all scrap lifting one of Janet's layouts today in the hop, so it'll be fun to see what everybody does. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.